What's up, guys? I'm here to make a video today, and yes, I am wearing an interview shirt. I don't know. I look like I work at like Circuit City or some shit, or like, or like J.C. Penney. I don't know. Like, I look like a discount manager today, and I am also feeling like hot garbage. Had a great day for sure. I had to go out of state for a job interview that a recruiter, a hiring recruiter for the company, was like, hey, your interview is tomorrow at 11, okay? Can you make it? And I'm like, sure, that's fine, but I would like to know what the shift times are so that I can make sure that it's worth coming out to and I don't have to take up anybody's time with an interview. And she was like, well, let me get back to that and I'll let you know. I'm like, okay. And so I don't hear anything and I'm getting ready for my interview because it takes an hour to get there. If it wasn't so much goddamn money, I would have just bailed out on it. But I'm trying to call them. I'm trying to call my recruiter. My recruiter's not answering. Then I'm calling the main office to the building that I'm supposed to be going to. And when I finally get a hold of somebody after like 10 minutes of being on hold with them, I start explaining that I'm coming in for an interview. And they hung up on me. And I was like, oh, okay. If it wasn't so much goddamn money, I wouldn't have gone. I just say, okay, fuck you people. But no. So I have to go all the way out of state and go through traffic, go through downtown, major city shit, go through lanes and detours because shit is closed. And I hate driving in the inner city. It is the fucking devil for me. And I finally get there with 2 minutes because of all the detours. I have 2 minutes left to get to my interview. And I'm like, okay, how the fuck do I get in the building now? And all the gates are closed. I'm like, oh. So I have to go through shipping and receiving. So I have to get the on-call button that is meant for semi-trucks. So I'm like, it. And they're like, hello. And I'm like, I don't know how to get in the building. I have an interview at 11. So they let me in. I go into the building and there's nobody at the front office. And I'm like, okay. So I start wandering through the building to find somebody because I'm like, they're going to be looking for me or they're going to count me as absent at this point because I'm late, you know? And they finally get somebody, like a secretary to come out, and I'm like, I have an interview. And she comes up with my application, and she's like, yeah, I'm not seeing you have an interview today. And I'm like, well, the Kansas City recruiter called me and said that I had an appointment at 11 a.m. today. And she was like, okay, let me go grab somebody. So she grabs a supervisor, and I don't know how many they have, but he seemed like he was pretty top-notch supervisor, and he was super nice. He was like, how are you today? We go back to his office, and I said, hey, I just want to start out by saying I usually call ahead of time to let people know that I'm only available for these certain amount of times, and it's no exception. I have kids in school. My husband works first and second shift. I have very limited availability, but it's still within a 10-hour time span, so hopefully that works for you guys. And he was like, it does not. We do 12-hour shifts from blah, blah, blah to blah, 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 and that's it. And I said, oh, okay. Well, I really did try to get in contact with somebody, but my recruiter didn't even tell you guys that I was interviewing today, and I couldn't get a hold of her. And then when I called your office, somebody hung up on me. And he was like, oh, really? And I said, yeah, I don't know. I tried to not waste anybody's time, and, it took me an hour to get here. And I could have been looking at other things because there was some event that I could have gone to today. So some like hiring event that would have been nice, but this job paid more. So he was like, oh, really? And he walked me out, was super nice, super respectful the whole time. And as I'm walking out, I hear him go into the office and said, so which one of you wants to hang up on people around here? And I was like, huh, fuck you. Fuck you guys for not taking 2 seconds out of your day to save me about 3 hours because I ended up getting lost in the city and could not find my way home. And it was great. And it was an awesome experience. And I got to go on an adventure today. And I looked really forward to just coming home, editing some videos before the girls get out of school, and just relaxing in my game room and just saying, fuck adulting today. I did my part. But yeah, anyways, let's watch a video today. Don't bite me. Okay. And we are going to look at worst tattoo mistakes from Ink Master, which their worst tattoo mistakes aren't shit compared to actual tattoo mistakes. These are still gorgeous pieces by high-end artists that are being judged very, very critically for being an Ink Master. Are we done? Oh, God. Don't lick me. Okay. You gotta go bye-bye. I'll put you back in your chair. All right, off we go.
I'm gonna get right to the point. This girl's got 2 right feet. What? She's got 2 right feet.
Oh, shit.
Toes in the grass.
James, tell me what's up.
That would be unpleasant.
Wasn't even paying attention.
You have 6 hours to tattoo a pinup. And your time starts now.
I've never done a pinup quite like this before.
So honestly, if you have a pinup or anything on you, I would go check their anatomy, right? Their anatomical features. See if everything's right, because I've done a lot of pinup girls, so that could have happened.
The flag is attached to the pole upside down. The maple leaf is like pointing upwards, but yet the flag is coming across and the top of the flag is actually here. If you think about that flag being on that pole, then it is mounted upside down. From the bottom of the flag down, the tattoo looks fine. The legs are nice from that
Legs
flag
are nice.
up.
I like the bracelet too.
Let's hear from the jury appears. Team Nunez, why did you vote Mike to the bottom?
A pinup has to be anatomically correct, so it's pretty easy and clear cut to decide.
I'm with these guys. That thing is so jacked up, doesn't look anything like.
Okay, so from my unprofessional perspective, I've seen worse, obviously. I do not like her face. I get where they're coming from on like the real straightforward flag's not done right, things like that. The hand is bothering the fuck out of me with the wrist and everything, but it's still a nice tattoo. That's the thing. We're gonna look at all nice tattoos and people just dogging on them and giving the general viewer the wrong idea of how to judge tattoos. Because I don't know how many people who are into tattoos who watch Ink Masters and then they want to grade you like they're Gordon fucking Ramsay, and they're not. It's fine.
To tattoo an American traditional design that includes an eagle and a flag.
Oh boy.
Remember,
See, this is the shit they're gonna get you on is American traditional.
Eagles, flags, a lot of the guys in here have no idea when it comes to traditional.
Traditional is a very technical style of tattooing. I mean, it is old school and technical precision, and you need like everything down to like the shading has to be correct.
I could be overthinking. They keep pushing in my head. This is a line challenge. If I give you a load of lines in all different shapes, sizes, and colors, then there you go. Where did you come up with the reds on this one here? It's not a realistic description of the American flag. Lalo is doing a flag that's anything but an American flag.
When you're tattooing a veteran and you're telling them how the flag will go because it's not a realistic representation, you probably shouldn't be tattooing it on them because they're a veteran and they want to represent their country to the fullest and represent their service to the fullest. And if you don't want to represent it to the fullest, you need to fix something.
If you do the flag the way it goes down, which is right, his or this? I can't get involved in this. If you have a guy who's an American patriot, he wants
I
an
like
American
his mustache.
flag.
It's
Who
so
knows what
cute.
Lalo's doing, but it's not an American flag, and it's jacked.
You're the one who has to work
Oh,
with this
man.
the rest of your life. And he's just a young, stupid idiot. What the is he doing with this blue? This is old
Yeah, I don't
school,
know why
not
the
new
dagger is blue
school.
or what's up with the background.
getting traditional design with an eagle and
You
a
don't
flag,
really
giving
realize
us-
how heavy colors will start to make everything feel, because you want it to breathe and you want it to pop out, but it's funny how you put blue in that dagger and now it's like so much smaller and dingier, and it doesn't go well with the green, and it would have been better to just leave it negative or put some heavy black shading cutting into it, and you would have been fine.
Judge, we're testing you online. Sebastian.
I really like this. It's rough, it's tough, it's not prissy. And then I noticed something. What do you think I noticed? It's flying backwards on that guy's arm. The head's supposed to point out. If I have the subject matter on the face here, do I want it looking at my ass or do I want it staring at my enemy? You want it looking
Fair.
at both.
Yeah, that is a
Overall, the
very,
line
very
weight
technical
for
thing.
The size of the tattoo is a little thin. There's a few weak lines in this tattoo, like the top of the eagle's wing and some of the banner. One of my biggest...
Yeah, see that he's talking about the wings and the different line variations. That's because American traditional needs perfect fucking lining for everything, and it is super fucking hard to execute. It is just ridiculously hard. Also, that little tongue sticking out in the eagle bothers me because there's no lining for it, and I don't know how I feel about that.
Complaints about this is the lettering up top. Little Rock is 2 words. Not on the ship,
Oh.
though. It wasn't Little Rock, Arkansas. It was Little Rock, and it was all 1 word. I checked it with him, and I double-checked it. Every battleship and cruiser and aircraft carrier is named after a city. And the ship is definitely named after the city. I went with what he said. If the guy told you he wanted it all in 1 word, then that is fine. But it's definitely 2 words.
See, the eagle's fucking nice.
My favorite eagle out of the bunch.
Yeah.
Man, what the with this flag?
Yeah.
5 stars, 7 stripes. It's an impossible twist. He's not a realistic.
I really like his pepper shading.
All these things have strict symbolism. The number of stripes, the order.
Yes, strict symbolism. Thank you. Very, very well done tattoo. Very pretty. You see those lines, those peppery lines dragging through there? It's so satisfying to see. I love pepper. Pepper makes me happy. Oh my god. But yeah, no, it's jacked. It's not a real flag, like, at all. Ooh, it's very, very red.
I come from a very strict religious upbringing, and tattoos are definitely not something you want to do.
Same, girl. I grew up in Mormon village, so, you know.
My late brother,
You had a lot of problems with the line work here.
Okay, yeah. When you use a small liner, it is so fucking hard to pull a straight line with it. It is so hard to get anything crispy. I mean, don't get me wrong. I love a thin liner for some tiny, tiny details. But this is a big ass piece to be using a small liner for. If you look in the lettering, or, well, the numbers, any of the numbers, they all have blowouts in them. There's all patchy line work through the whole thing. This is something that if I was going to do this, it would have been on a smaller scale or thicker liner, or, you know, it just, not this. I would not have done this. And I really like the idea of like a draft picture being a tattoo, but then you have like the white highlights in there that I don't understand, that because it's not consistent with anything else in the tattoo. That's the only white highlights in the whole thing. The blowouts get me. The long amount of lining you have to do consistently from top to bottom of this whole thing is terrifying to think of trying to execute correctly, because, oh my god, imagine you pull a line and it doesn't come out as clean as you want it to. When you use a really thin liner and you go over it again, it's impossible. It's impossible to get it clean, because then you can see where you overlapped it, and it's just never going to be perfect unless you can do it perfectly and you know exactly how to use it. It's just, that would scare the shit out of me to do a tattoo like this.
That line is out of control.
his skin was really difficult to deal with.
Because he's old. Old skin is very difficult to work with. You have to imagine whenever you stretch somebody's skin on a line this big, it turns into this big. And then when you tattoo somebody who's in their 50s and up, it's this big. And it's like you just stretch forever. And tearing is a lot easier to do to somebody, because if you pull too tight and their skin is too thin, it will tear the skin open. It's insane. Dang, girl.
Please pack your machines and close shop.
Hey, if I were you, I just would have gone with a bolder line, and I think we would have been okay. Turn down that machine, thicker liner, you'd be alright.
5 hours to complete your tattoo.
Alright, I think we're gonna make this one the last one.
Only 5 of you left. And this week you were
Buddy!
testing person skills by tattooing a pinup girl.
Pinup girls, they fucking get you, man. That's another just oddly technical thing that you don't think about. Oh,
Let's get right to the point. This girl's got 2 right feet.
yes she does.
She's got 2.
That's a big old
right
peach, though.
feet.
There's 2 big toes in the grass.
James, tell me what's up. Whoops.
Oh my god, that dude's tattoos are nice.
for real, this is a mistake, man. I mean, I get it, but you're a consistent tattooer. I don't know what happened.
I figured I didn't f it up too bad, in my opinion.
You lost it in the mouth, man. The shape of that top lip and his teeth, man.
Okay, that mouth is this big. Regardless where you put it on your body, that mouth is like this goddamn big. And that is so hard to execute, let alone like the detailing and the teeth. I would get so lost in just playing with that and all the detailing and the hair and the makeup and the white and the highlights, and like it's so fun to pick apart the process of this whole thing because that's a lot of fun. That looks like a fun piece to do. And then you take a step back from it and you look at it and you're like, oh fuck. You don't realize when you get so lost in art how you potentially aren't executing it correctly. I kind of see like the bottom lip isn't like perfectly round at the bottom and it kind of goes like this rather than just curves out. And that's like something I struggle with on lettering, especially just making things curved out and smooth and flow correctly. I tend to like cut at an angle too hard. My lettering is not pretty and I refuse to do it, but you know, that's what I attribute that perfect curvature of the mouth to. Also, I feel like her top lip has a mustache, like 2 little mustaches right there. But I still think it's beautiful. I think it's great. I see where they're coming from, and it's literally like the smallest detail in that tattoo being in the forefront, along with those 2 right feet. That's something most people won't catch. So, you know, that's the judge's job.
It's just scary looking. This is to find out who's the most well-rounded.
Do you regret taking the shoes off the design?
Yeah, I was just like, flabbergasted.
I'm more upset for the customer because it's my job to make the best tattoo for my client, you know, and I try to pay attention to detail. It's just one thing that's, you know, it's a...
They are some
sin,
cute
you
little
know?
piggies.
I'm not gonna make up any type of excuse whatsoever.
For today's
Oof.
elimination tattoo.
Okay, I'm gonna stop there because this video is long as shit. And I need a shower. I need to de-stress for the rest of the day. And I feel like a country boy. Thanks for watching that video with me and just, you know, forgetting your own problems along with mine. I appreciate it. Maybe we'll do more of this together sometime and we can just forget about everything else. My cat is still cute. Let's go, kitty cat. Ready to go? You ready to go? I see you. You said bye-bye? You want to say bye? Bye-bye. See you later. Bye.